Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cardonomics YouTube channel. So today's video, we're going to go over one of the most iconic cards in the modern era, which is the Moonbreon from Evolving Skies. And I'll go over some other languages this card is available in the boxes they come in, and we'll just compare where the prices are at with the box compared to the card. Is it going to be worth opening? Is it not? Do people actually care about, the language that's on the card? Is it more about the aesthetic or the value? So that's the question I'm going to ask everyone today, but we'll have a look at the numbers and we'll also go over some other sets that have the evolution so you can get your evolutions fixed at a cheap price. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to start with Evolving Skies here, and I'm using pokedata.io for all this data to make these videos. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out. It's a pretty useful tool, and it's the one I prefer to use to get my value data. So as you can see here, Evolving Skies, 8600 AUD to complete the set. Again, it's kind of unattainable for most people. No one's really going out there spending, $8,000-9,000 to try and master this set, or very few people. So this is why I want to make this video, and there are other alternatives where you can actually get exactly the same cards, but obviously with, different language on the card. So that begs the question, how much do we really care about, what's written on the card compared to what's actually shown for collectors, the actual image on the card and the quality of the card. So we'll get into that today. But yeah, obviously very expensive set, Evolving Skies. The booster box we'll get into now just keeps going up and up and up. So this chart hasn't really had a break. It just continues to make new high after new high. And again, if you watch my other videos on markets, we can understand why this is able to do what it's done, during this time frame of economic expansion, which has allowed Evolving Skies to just go up and up the way it has. So again, things don't go up forever. And if you haven't watched my videos about market cycles, please go and watch that so you have a better understanding of what I'm saying. But I'm not going to make this video about that as we have other stuff to get into. But, I will finish off with saying we are going to enter a phase of contraction. So this box won't be able to go, continue to go up in that climate. So, things have to come back down eventually and settle. And yeah, like the retracement is going to come eventually. So just something to be aware of. But at the moment, if you bought Evolving Skies down here, you're actually going to be pretty happy with the way it's performed today. So yeah, look, the price for one of these boxes is around, $2,800. It's unattainable for most people, and it's become more of a collectible than something someone buys to open for the cards. So that's why I wanted to make this video and just shine a light on, other languages that have the exact same cards that are, a fraction of this price. So here we see the Moonbreon. Another couple of things I want to point out. The population on this in the PSA 10 is nearing 17,000. And we can see some weakness starting to appear in the chart. So it's basically followed the same sort of route as the booster box. But we've come into a point here where it showed some weakness. So we've topped out and we've actually started a micro downtrend here. So if we break this level here of 1900, well, it's basically got thin air all the way down to this next support level of around $1,100-1,200. And again, this is what I expect to happen with a lot of these modern graded cards and raw cards. Because there's just a lot out there, and as more boxes get open, their population continues to increase, which is the opposite for sealed product, which once they stop getting printed, the actual number of sealed boxes left in the world actually decreases as more get opened. So basic supply and demand metrics there, but yeah, this is what I'm seeing, a lot of weakness in this card, and that's not to say the booster box, is immune to a downturn, because it's not. But it's not going to have as much selling pressure as what these cards will, because 17,000 cards, even if only half of them say appear on the market because people want to get out because the price is going down, and all of a sudden the sentiment changes, well, there's a lot of selling pressure on this card, and everyone's just going to keep undercutting each other. And these are levels where people have, a lot of people have bought before this next thing, and obviously you've got this huge support here at around $800, which is probably where I think this card may end up, at the bare minimum in a bear market. So again, just want to go over some numbers here. Let's go over to EV Heroes, which is the Japanese version. So you've actually got the Moonbreon here that's more expensive raw than the actual English version. You can see it's $7,200 to complete a master set of the Japanese version, and this is only half the set for those who don't know how Japanese work. So the sets actually, a lot of the core sets come out in two sets. So Blue Sky Stream is the second half of this, which has the Rayquaza, VMAX, and V Altard along with the Dragonite. And you do have some additional cards in this Japanese set, which are only English promos that come in collection boxes, which is the Flareon here, the Jolteon here, and also the Vaporeon. So a few things taken away and a few things added, just for you guys that don't know about how that works. But again, you can pull this card here, which is worth more in the Japanese and English. Yet, the booster box is sitting a lot lower. And again, you can see the performance of the box here. It topped out around 830. And again, these numbers can be off a little bit depending on where you live. But I see EV Hero selling for around 750 in Australia currently. But you can see this range that we're stuck in here. So basically, it's on a bit of a downtrend, to be honest. But is some support around that $600 mark. And again, if this does break here, which I don't think it will, because there isn't too many of these on the market, I'm more inclined to say that this might break up if this market continues above the 830, which has been a long time coming. This is July 2023. It's almost been 2 years where we've been stuck in this range, whereas the English versions just continue to go up. So again, look, it is an expensive box. These are only about 60 AUD retail in Japan. So it is about 10 to 12x up from that, but is to be expected when you got a set like this that's very highly in demand and full of value. So again, not a bad investment if you're looking at that lens, but I just want to more focus today on what other options we may have, to obtain this card, which a lot of people seem to love in this modern era. So a quick look at this card now, Moonbreon VMAX. So again, you can see the price of this card raw is more than English, and the population in a 10 is a lot lower. It's almost a third of what it is in English. So again, that means that there's going to be less selling pressure on the market when it does turn. So again, that's a bit of more of a safety net than English for the Japanese card, which is a bit more appealing in an investment sense if you wanted to invest in a card like this. There's not as much data in Japanese as there is in English, and that's just due to the sales collected on this particular website. But you can still see it's kind of stuck in the same range as the box. But again, still plenty of value there in Japanese for what we can call a fraction of the price of what the English box is. So now we'll just go over some quick numbers, and it's basically just going to tell us how much does the booster box cost compared to the top chase in that set, and what's the appeal of opening a box to try and obtain this card. And again, we'll start with English, and you can see here the current cost of the booster box is around $2,800 AUD, and the top chase, which is the Umbreon VMAX, is only worth about $2,000, which gives us a ratio of 1.4, which is 140% value of what the box is compared to the card. So again, not very appealing to open this box anymore. Like I said before, it's becoming more of a collectible than something that people want to open or try and chase something that's worth less than the box. Again, that's just less and less appealing as time goes on. So that's why I'm saying we can find other options that we can still pay less for the box, get the opening experience, and still hit the card that's actually going to be worth more than the box. So the next example is Japanese. The current cost of the box I put here at $750. You get 30 packs in the Japanese set. And the current cost of the Moonbreon is actually $3,000. So it's substantially more than the card, giving us a ratio of 0.25. So the box costs only 25% of the top chase of what you can get. So again, that's very appealing, but not everyone has $750 and wants to take the risk to try and hit this card. But again, it's just extremely more appealing than English, and I do believe that this box has a lot more room to grow from an investment sense as well. So I think the card's topped out for now, but the actual box is still undervalued for what you can get inside, in my opinion. So off to the next options now. Then this is simplified Chinese, and it's quite a new market, and a lot of people might not know this, but it's a huge market there in China. So simplified Chinese is basically mainland China, and they're just playing catch up right now. And Nine Colors Gathering is their equivalent to Evolving Skies, and it comes in these jumbo pack boxes and also these slim pack boxes. And I've got the prices here and done the maths on both. So you can currently get the jumbo pack box for $300 AUD, which contains 6 packs and I believe 25 cards inside with a guaranteed 5 holos inside each pack. And then you got the slim pack box version, which is around $160. Again, just a fraction of that English cost price, which gives you 24 packs, but no actual guarantee of any holos there, I believe. And the current cost of the Moonbreon in this set is still $950. So giving us a ratio from the jumbo boxes of 0.31 and the slim boxes of a measly 0.17. So that's very appealing to open this box to try and get this card. And again, if we can look past the aesthetics and Simplified Chinese, they're actually made in Japan. And for all of you who haven't opened Simplified Chinese or Japanese cards, the quality of the cards is actually far superior to English. So you're actually getting a better quality card, just with a different language on it. So yeah, if you do open this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think the appeal here, for me anyway, looking at these numbers, is quite massive to, start cracking some Simplified Chinese to get your fix to try and chase that Moonbreon. So again, an amazing option right now and still fairly accessible to get this box. I just wanted to go over Korean because Korean's always going to be that cheaper option. It's not going to be a huge market, and I do believe these cards are made in Korea, so the quality is going to differ again. But the current cost is only $150 for this particular box where you get 30 packs, so similar to the Japanese version. And the current cost of the Moonbreon Raw is $750. So again, you got that ratio of 0.2, which is very appealing to still open this set to try and chase that card. So again, there's two amazing options. If you can get your head past the language on the card, and we're just, speaking from purely collector sense, if we just want this card and a look at the card, well, I think it's very appealing to start looking elsewhere other than English or Japanese. So two amazing options right there. So the next couple of things I'm going to go over is for you Evolution fans and some exciting things that are happening, particularly in the Simplified Chinese world. But first, we're going to go over Terrestrial Festival, which is a Japanese set equivalent to Prismatic Evolutions. And the reason I want to bring this up is the opening experience is far superior to Prismatic Evolutions. And the reason why is that each booster box you buy for $150 currently contains 10 packs with a guaranteed SIR, and possibly 2 in each box. So it is extremely fun to open. You're guaranteed to get a hit. And the cost of a box currently is only $150 with a reprint on the way this month. So we can expect prices to drop even further in the near future, giving us an amazing opportunity to experience this set in Japanese, where, again, I reiterate, the card quality is so much better than in English if you haven't experienced this before. And you can still chase the Umbreon in this set, $400 for this card, giving us a ratio of 0.375. So again, it's very appealing to open this. It's very fun. So for all you Evolution fans, it's an amazing experience to open these Japanese high-class sets. So just something to keep on your radar, especially this month that it's getting a reprint. Another set that's come out recently is the Simplified Chinese Gem Volume 2, which features the Evolutions again. And what I want to point out is that these 4 cards on the left here are exclusive to Simplified Chinese. So you can only get these cards in this set, and it's going to stay like that forever. So again, it's a massive, massive market that a lot of people don't know about or know very little about. And they've got all these exclusive cards. So if you do want to truly catch them all, well, you're going to have to start looking over to the Simplified Chinese cards and the exclusive cards they have, which are, quite amazing in the way they look. And they're doing some really, really nice things. And on a side note, the products and the packaging on some of these products are amazing. And you don't see this type of quality in English, in my opinion. So we'll just go over the numbers here again. Current cost of this booster box is only $70. Which contains 15 packs. So, extremely affordable, extremely fun to open. I believe you get 4 cards per pack, and it's just full of reverse holos and the chance to get these amazing rares. And, the current cost of the top hit, which is the Umbreon once again, is around $220, giving us a ratio of 0.32. Again, extremely appealing to open up these boxes to, one, chase these exclusive cards, and to get a card worth much more than the actual cost of the box. And the last 2 sets I went over, Terrestrial and Gem 2, I do have them available on the Cardonomics website, so I will leave the link in the description if you're interested in purchasing any of those boxes. So again, like the question I ask you, like leave a comment below. You know, what are you most worried about when you're collecting cards? Do you care about the language, the quality of the card, the values of the card? What is it that appeals to you? Or do you even know about these other languages and the exclusive cards that are going on right now? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you all on the next video.